We are live. Awesome.
Oh, what now, huh? You
Yay!
thought we weren't live. You thought we weren't gonna be, but now you
We're
know what
live.
it is, son.
We're
We
live.
live, yo.
We are live. We are live. Welcome to OCR Talkback, Overclock Remixes, semi-weekly web show where we talk about VGM and music and video games and OCR Remix. So with us tonight, Larry OG,
Oh
Steve-O,
yes.
and Lil Rock, all Talkback regulars. I am Dark Sword. Um,
Where my
Definitely dark.
non-regulars at? Where are my
What?
non-regulars at?
Where you're what?
My non-regulars.
Your non-regulars? I don't know. We don't have anybody.
Yeah, what the heck, man? Well, any OC remixers that want to get in on the show, you let me know. Need some
Yeah.
non-regulars, man.
Non-regs.
I mean, I like
Non-regulation.
you. I love you guys. You guys are all awesome, but
Non-regulation.
get some more flavor in there. No Jarrell in there. He's still got con flu or whatever the heck. So.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't think he got sick because of the convention.
Well,
I didn't get sick.
it's an easy excuse.
Yeah. I don't know.
How was that, by the way, man? Just
New York
I know you
Comic
talked
Con?
about it, but yeah, man. I mean, any highlights, any celeb sightings,
No, it was just really like hectic. It's always a hectic weekend to go to Comic Con because we have to take the train up every day from Jersey to New York. But it was fun. It was a little weird because Nintendo wasn't there this year.
Why'd that make it weird? No,
Because they're usually there, and it's usually like a kind of a highlight where you just go and play like new Nintendo games and stuff. Normally I go to Comic Con for like panels, for like DC Comics panels and like comic book stuff panels, and I went to 2 panels and they were so boring. I went to the Green Lantern panel and the Batman panel, and there was some good creator insight, but honestly, like, it was so boring because they didn't show off anything new at all. They didn't announce anything. It was just like, what are you guys doing? This is not how you should be running New York Comic Con. Your New York Comic Con presence. It was just, they weren't even showing, they were showing off, like, covers for issues that already came out this month. It's like,
well, okay, but you're a Wednesday mega nerd, so like you've seen them, but maybe some of the more
yeah,
casual.
but I've also been going to Comic Con for years, and in the past, when you go to a panel for like Batman, they show off stuff that's coming out 3 months later. They're like they start like really hyping up like big events and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Any of that this year, nothing. They announced the movie schedule, the DC movie schedule after Comic Con.
What now? Hold on, real quick. Let me segue to that to not continue on the lameness of that. But so what were some of the stuff on the DC movie slate that looked interesting? And just real quick, and then we will start talking about video game music. I promise.
I am only gonna see Wonder Woman. I don't really care about any of the other.
All right, but what else is on there? Like,
they're doing an Aquaman movie. They're doing, I think, a Flash movie.
all right. Yeah.
They're doing a Justice
I was
League.
so happy to hear about the Flash movie, by the way. That
there's-
seriously got my gears going.
There's two Justice League movies, and they're doing another Green Lantern movie, but it's probably going to be like a reboot, so it's not going to be Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah, of course not. Yeah. No.
They're starting to get a bit obscure with that shit, aren't they? Like Aquaman and.
Well,
like,
I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy was obscure. So.
Yeah.
Like I know I treat myself as like a guy who is interested in that stuff. Like I do like Spider-Man and I do like Thor and I do like that stuff and Captain America and blah blah blah. Captain English, I don't know. But
Captain Britain. It's Captain.
Yeah,
Britain.
when it comes to suddenly they're talking about Captain Britain. Sorry, yeah, Captain Britain. That's Captain English. Captain Britain would be that would mean Captain Ireland, Captain Scotland.
No, I
wouldn't
mean
be
that's a real character. Captain Britain is a character.
Captain Britain is a character.
Yeah,
See,
he's a
this,
real character.
I don't even know. I don't even know. Yeah. And like they're coming out with all this stuff that I wouldn't probably have. Like people aren't going to have heard of it, and it's like who's going to go and watch Aquaman? Like other than
A lot of people will watch Aquaman. People know about Aquaman. People know about
But he's like he's viewed as third tier.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see. I mean, again, so was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Obviously, Warner Brothers and Disney are 2 different entities, and we'll see if Warner Brothers can get that hype.
I don't have a lot of confidence in Warner Brothers with the DC movies, honestly. because if you've seen Man of Steel and you're a Superman fan, you know that that's not a very good Superman movie.
Well, I mean, maybe they have. I mean, right? In order to say we're going to map out 10 movies, I mean, obviously they're copying the Marvel playbook, but I mean, hopefully they have somebody, a visionary, just somebody that can really.
They do have a visionary, and the problem is that visionary is Zack Snyder, and that's the problem. So yeah. I'm not a huge fan of what he did with Man of Steel and his approach to it. So, anyway, let's talk about video game music because we had 6 viewers and now we have 4 viewers. And I think they were just like, what the hell are they talking about?
That's because of Steve-O, whose face is like only half in the frame, and they're kind of like, what's going on?
I'm sorry, I'm having to copy and paste erotic fan fiction.
Stop doing that. We don't want to. You can keep doing it, but we don't want to.
No, I'm not talking about it on here. I'm just saying what I'm doing on the side.
All right.
I'm also doing. I have to search because I'm moving next Monday. I'm looking for barriers to stop my dogs as well as friends like David Hubbard. I guess you could say I'm looking for a Gamergate in order to keep him out.
Stop that!
So hard, very nice.
So hard.
Oh, yes.
That's the one. That's it. That's all you've got.
I told you I was gonna make the word joke at the beginning of this show, and now I've done it, and I'm done.
We're done.
Very nice. Wow.
Okay.
A gate that keeps out gamers? Is that what you're looking for?
Oh no, I got that.
Gate.
Slap all of you next time I see you, right in the face.
Am I supposed to get something from this game again?
No, you're not. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The less you know about this, the better. Anyway,
oh, Lord,
let's talk about video games.
I don't even look this up.
Let's talk about video games.
Let's talk about video game music. What are you guys?
Are we gonna get a remix named Gamergate? Where
No.
Even give anybody the idea. Don't even.
Game is Stargate.
Oh, Stargate! Open the Gamergate! Oh,
No.
one up now! Yeah!
Lock in the chakrams.
Do it!
God.
Do it!
Chakrams.
Yeah,
Chevrons. No, chevrons, not chakrams. The chevrons. What are you talking about, chakrams?
The chevrons are locking, MacGyver.
Chakrams!
All right. Anyway, what are you guys listening to this week?
Oh,
I'm actually I need a lot of
jam?
motivating music right now because there's a shit ton to pack. So I've been listening to all of the Ridge Racer series this week. Ridge Racer Revolution, Rage Racer, R4.
Wait. There's a Rage Racer?
Yes, the way it worked is they did Ridge Racer, then they did Ridge Racer Revolution, which was a minor revision of the original game with enhanced graphics and a different soundtrack. And then the sequel was called Rage Racer. As opposed to having multiple tracks, it was one single city that had multiple paths through it. And that's the jump between Ridge Racer Revolution and Rage Racer is when they jumped from 90s cheesy techno to jungle drum and bass, really tight. The stuff that R4 is known for. Yeah, that's the stepping stone.
You're like a
music.
Wikipedia of obscure video game stuff.
How is Ridge Racer obscure?
Ridge Racer is not obscure.
Musically it is, dude.
Okay, musically it might be, but Rage Racer and Ridge Racer Type 4 are two of the best soundtracks to come out of Namco.
I love the Type 4. I love the R4 soundtrack, but I've never heard of Rage Racer.
You should check it out and check out Volcano Vehicle. It is a sexy song.
As you say while you're cutting and pasting erotic fan fiction or whatever.
Yeah.
Always.
I know what else is in your head.
That's my exclusive soundtracks for the next couple of days.
Perfect. Yeah, man. Sounds good.
Will rock.
So what are you guys listening to aside from Steve-O and his weird racing game soundtracks?
All right, so I will plug it. Zone Runners, Overclock Records. Go overclockrecords.com. Zone Runners album, 11 tracks from 9 Sonic games. It's pretty sweet. You got Halsey, Digi Valentine, and Sir Jordanius now making the group a trio. The lyrics are tight, the rhymes are tight. It tells a story with what do they call them in like DeviantArt land? OCs, original
characters.
So it's man, it's a pretty unique concept album, but strong stuff, and I'm a huge fan of Sir Jordanius, so it's really cool kind of having him add another element to the group. So it's pretty tight stuff. You know, go stream the album, check it out if you want to get it. Grab it for the $9.99. Good stuff on overclockrecords.com. I have been listening to that when I was tagging it up, because every song is lyrics. So if you hate lyrics, you know, then you're evil and you know you can go away. But
hate lyrics so much.
If you enjoy people singing, then you know, or rapping in this case, then you know, do check it out.
Zone Runners is really, really good. I've been listening to that like constantly all week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I tweeted to them. I said, I really like it, except for all the square waves. Can I get a version without the square waves?
Lovely. Perfect.
Because
are we really going to start going there? Can you please mute the saw? I'd really like it without the saw.
Yeah, because that's how ridiculous it is when people ask for the version without the vocals. You know.
No, I know.
Oh, can I get the version without the vocals? No, but I can give you a version without hi-hats.
Yeah,
Can I get a version without the music, please?
Yeah.
I'm listening to this Chicago song. I'd really, really like it without the brass.
Yeah, you know, it's like, come on.
You're ripping the heart out.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, Zone Runners, get it. It's fantastic. What else are you listening to, Lair?
Damn, I don't know. What have I been listening to? I don't know. I don't know. I've been in work mode like all week, so you know, as far as the stuff on the site, it's really just been sort of the newest mixes that are on the site. So you know, DJ Pretzel stuff, Palpable, Andy and Jill, and then Sir Nuts today, which I was, you know, one of my things is the evil, you know, second banana of OC Remixes. I pretty, you know, for the most part, get to set what the queue is now. So
yeah.
So what we're going to be doing for the next few mixes is it's just going to be stuff that stuff from new games that haven't been posted to OCR yet. So I think Will Rock is next up with Biker Mice from what planet I don't remember, but
I think it's Mercury.
Biker Mice from Uranus.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Okay, that's right. Yes, BMFU, good old classic cartoon series. So yeah, this Biker Mice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited though because there's a lot of good stuff lined up from games that we've never posted, and I think somebody when DJ Pretzel posted up Remix 3000, they were like, "That's all well and good, but promote some games that haven't been remixed yet." And Zelda, and it's like, dude, man, people know Zelda.
Just
like,
shut up.
He's like,
at a certain, you know what though? Like at a certain point, it's just like, guys, just shut up and let us post what we're gonna post. You know, just like there's so much music coming in, and we're trying hard. So just just sit back and just download it when it comes out and listen to it. You know.
Well, I mean, it also ignores that, you know, I mean, if you keep an eye on what we've been posting recently, there's been some stuff from new games. So, like, you know, we've had Hotline Miami, we had The Last of Us. Like, I mean, please keep an eye out for that.
Destiny.
That's new stuff. We had, yeah, but that came out after. But yeah, Destiny. I mean, we have new stuff. Like, we have stuff from newer different games. So, I mean, please keep an eye out for that. Like, I don't think we're ever necessarily gonna do a mega obscure game on like a 1,000 thing. You know, every 1,000 songs. I don't see that. Like he did Battletoads as an example, and I'm like, I just don't. Maybe I don't know. Like, I mean, look, we don't discriminate on what game something is from, but you know, when you got the milestone, you gotta hit them with it with the heavy hitters.
You gotta hit it with the front.
You gotta hit it with man.
With that.
Exactly. So I mean.
With that.
Sorry,
WABAP, we're back.
Anyway, but yeah, that's what I've been checking out, the recent stuff, and I'm excited for, you know, what's going to be coming up soon. So yeah, Will Rock, and then I think to Maya's maybe some of that Tenchu Stealth Assassins.
Nice.
Get some good stuff in there.
I'm looking forward when we can get some of them Madden remixes out there.
Dude, I hate you. You're not my.
Some really old Madden games have original music.
Yeah, old EA Sports games did have original music in them.
Yeah.
Granted, half of it was just like organ bumper music that you'd hear at an actual sports game, but it still had some.
At an actual sporting event.
Which I've never been to. I've never been to these sports that you're talking about.
It reminds me of that brutal one time, way back in the judges panel. I don't even think I have it anymore, but there was this NHL '95 mix that got sent in.
No.
And it was y'all ready for this? but
Yes,
it was just like
and
MIDI blats.
the
And
source tune is where they use like the grunts from getting hit in game as the different like lyrical stuff
Right.
from the original song. It's such a good, terrible song.
That's brutal. So yeah, man, we once got a submission of that, and it was the drizzling shit. It
Yeah,
was really, really. I use the word shit because it was shit. It was so bad.
So mean.
I mean,
It was
actually,
bad, dude.
genuine question for people who are working on the inbox these days: do we get that many submissions from mainstream, high-profile games, like the ones that don't necessarily have licensed soundtracks, but one that you wouldn't initially associate with remixing, like Call of Duty?
Wait, but are you saying like arrangements of non-video game music, or just
No. Arrangements of video game music, like the ones that don't have a licensed soundtrack, like the ones that are.
I don't think we really see a lot of Call of Duty remixes and like.
I don't think I've ever seen one. I don't think I've ever.
There's a lot of like mainstream games, like like Call of Duty and like World of Warcraft. Don't get a lot of WoW remixes. Don't get a lot of Call of Duty stuff.
League of Legends, any MMOs.
Well, League of Legends doesn't really have a lot of music to begin with.
I mean, I know, but I guess what I'm saying is like any MMO, like any like some of these like blockbuster games, that have like millions of people that bought it. I mean, you'll never see a mix of it because the soundtrack isn't memorable. No hate on whoever made it, but just that
Yeah.
The soundtracks these days aren't made to be memorable. They're made to be backing stuff just to enhance the game, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a really kind of like broad statement to make. I don't think that's necessarily true. I mean, for certain games, for certain like League of Legends, like you don't really want music in the background. You want to focus on the game,
Well, yeah, but
because
when you talk about games like Call of Duty, like you don't sort of think of Call of Duty and go, "Oh, that tune, it's stuck in my head, it's going around like a."
Yeah, well, I mean, like the original Call of Duty had amazing music. I don't know if you remember.
I like the story in the original Call of Duty too.
Yeah, the original Call of Duty.
I had the original Call of Duty. I don't remember the music from it at all.
Yeah. I can't recall the music, but I do remember really loving the music when I was playing the game. It was very good. It really set the scene in the game.
Maybe it did, but it's just not really hooky. You know what I mean? It doesn't have those hooks that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were trying to hit kind of like that World War II movie kind of like score.
No, and some games you really need stuff that just accents the background that doesn't stand out. So I mean, there's different needs for music in games.
I really love that game too. The original Call of Duty was just fantastic. I mean,
like
people give that series a lot of flack because it's become annualized and it's just sort of like that kind of mainstream shooter thing.
I need to check out more. Oh, go ahead, Will.
Sorry, I just think there might be a little bit more to it than sort of atmospherics because I was just thinking like The Sims, for example. When you count the expansions, it's got like 8 hours of music, and this is like fucking good music that you could potentially remix into, it's got all different styles and things, and they're pretty good arrangements. And there are basically no remixes of any Sims things anywhere, and you have to wonder why that is. Like, I think that there's definitely an 8-bit sort of bias when it comes to
8 and 16. 8 and 16 definitely.
Yeah, 8 and 16 because they're so open to interpretation. People like to envision things. Like when you hear a track on a CD and it's full and it's complete. It's on The Sims, for example, and it's a Latin thing. It's complete and a lot of people don't actually want to rearrange that sort of thing, do they? It's like, oh, this song's fit complete. And I think people view the 8-bit and 16-bit stuff as not complete pieces of music, and they want to complete it almost.
Maybe. I don't know.
Just more malleable, just more able to be transformed and interpreted.
Yeah. Let's hit some comments and stuff. Well, actually, Will, what are you listening to this week? Anything good?
Yeah, the Animal Crossing music because
nice.
I've been doing a track on Project M for them because they want to replace the music from Brawl because they don't like it, and they said we want some really sort of energetic synth rock stuff for it. And I was like, I can do that.
So why did they come to you for that? I mean, we know you do orchestral jazz polka, obviously.
Yeah. But basically, it's kind of sad because I listened quite nice and I remixed that, and then I turned it into this like synth rock thing, typical Will Rock faff, and then I went and listened to the original, and I was just like, oh shit, I've ruined it. This is such a nice, nostalgic, and peaceful song, and I've turned it into this. Yeah. And I feel kind of bad. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad.
What have I been listening to? Zone Runners, obviously. That's my jam right now. I was listening to today. I was listening to the vocal version of the ending of Sonic 2.
What, Dreams Come True?
Yeah, Sweet Sweet by Dream Comes.
Yeah.
Dreams Come True. I was listening to that, and then I was like, man, like OCU should do like a vocal version of this, like an English one.
Why don't you send it to us?
I know Dia was like, arrange it, and I was like, I think I will. So I might like start putting something together. Maybe you guys.
I mean, we're always looking for new material. It's been kind of tough with Dia moving out and with Amy getting deep into her new job, and with Val and I moving. It's just been very crazy lately.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're still doing stuff. Just let us know.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and hit up like a MIDI or something.
Oh, you got to go to vgmusic.com to get those MIDIs.
No, I mean I'm gonna write a MIDI.
Wait, you're going to write a MIDI for vgmusic.com?
No, I'm going to write a MIDI for you.
Yay! Somebody's doing the work for me.
You dummy. Okay.
Sir Nuts says on the YouTube comments, time to submit my Call of Duty remix then.
Yes, please.
Yeah, do it. Yeah. And also, props to, and because we know Mike is watching, but props on the Mirror's Edge mix.
Yes.
Nice work on that. And I seriously cannot wait to post his Supremacy mix. It is one of the most intense, awesome, just the energy is amazing, high energy tracks that I've ever heard.
Awesome.
It's amazing. So yeah, keep an eye out for that though. Sir Nuts and remixing Supremacy for C64. Nice. It's really good. The source tune is tight, but I mean, Mike just ratcheted it way up, so I'm very.
So wait, a sexy, intense remix from
no, we're not tying it to your erotica fanfic.
No. I'm not tying it in, but a sexy, intense remix from an obscure game from an outdated system. This has the three things that my remixing dreams are made of, so I am extremely excited about this now.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's dude.
Calm down, Steve-O.
I can't.
Put it back in your pants. Come on.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's erotic fanfic, and I will hear no more of erotic
fanfic. Let's see, what else am I listening to? Oh, I've been listening to like OC remixes actually this week. A lot of OC remixes. I recently re-downloaded the entire, 1 through 3000.
Oh yeah, that too.
And I actually had that on yesterday at work all day. I was streaming it from home, and I was actually also listening to Talkback number 44.
Cool! Because
Larry and Steve-O show.
It was like Larry and Steve-O, and then like OC remixes underneath it. So that was kind of cool. And then today I was listening to more OC remixes.
I was going to say there were a lot of questions from last week that I was hoping you and Will could answer because there were some really good questions last week, so we'll get to some of those.
Yeah, we can hit some of those. But real quick,
I'm actually about to head off. So.
Okay.
How dare you? I knew it. I knew you would. No, I'm kidding. Awesome.
Alex Vanderpool on YouTube says, "Hey guys, loving the new YouTube thumbnails. Yeah, we love them too. Just curious, does this mean we can expect a new updated background video sometime in the future for future submissions?"
Yes.
Yes. That's being worked on.
We do not.
I actually got confused when I saw the thumbnail because I saw it and I thought, oh, I've actually remixed a new video, and I clicked it, expect to see this new video, and I was like, oh, no, it's just the same. It's just the fun.
No, but that video is quite outdated. So we do need to update it, and I think Jose is working on a new one. So
yeah, he's
hopefully
working on it.
That one.
It will eventually see the light of day at some point. Well, and people are like, oh, why does it take so long to do a new video? Well, one, we're working on 50 million other things. Two, we're all volunteers and do this all in our spare time for no money. And three, no money. So new video will show up eventually, and it will be excellent.
Yeah. So that's a thing. So Will, you gotta go.
Yeah, I am leaving.
All right, man. Sorry to see you go, but
Plug something.
Oh.
welcome to the real world.
Welcome to the real world, which all of our Patreon backers are getting. The $5 backers are getting.
Classic album from the 80s by Mr.
Backers are getting it. Oh, they.
Yeah, man.
That's cool. I'm gonna have more listeners.
Yeah.
That's good.
They've been really.
All two of them.
They've been.
Are we talking about Will Rock's album? I thought we were talking about the Mr. album from the 80s.
Yeah.
I too thought it was the Mr. album, so now I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Don't be disappointed. I'm better than Mr. Crap. Will Rock!
Take these broken wings and learn to fly again. Learn to live so free.
Why? Why did that happen?
Take this broken gate and learn to game again.
No!
Oh, yes!
All right. Let's let this guy go. Let's let this guy go.
My next album's gonna be called Kiri.
Kyrie.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gone.
Awesome.
All right, man.
Good night, Will. Good to see you.
Goodbye.
All right. Boy. Okay. Let's see what's
let
going on.
me just give it up to Will real quick because coming in from the UK, that time difference, he's always in there, man.
I know, he's always in the mix. It's good.
I'm beginning to suspect that all people in Europe, especially in England, just their time zones are so off because the world revolves around America. So like, we get up and start working at 8:30, and they get up at like noon, and then they go to bed at 3 a.m. and this is normal for them.
Wow, you asshole American.
Hey, it's good to represent the stereotype every once in a while, even if I hate it.
No.
No, but I mean, I do appreciate them staying up so late because it must be really rough working on, especially when you work for development companies or businesses over here and having to work on their schedule. It's just such a pain.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
All
right, so we have Sharik here who will answer some of the cool questions from last week, and there's some new ones too. But if you're listening and you want to ask some questions that we will be getting to tonight, hashtag OCR Talkback on the Twitter. Hit us with it. I am checking the YouTube comments too, so if you want to just comment in the video, hit it up, and we will get to your question. I don't know if anybody's Facebook, but feel free to check that. One of y'all.
I'm gonna hit the Facebook. See what's going on there.
All right. So while you're doing that, and this is good to catch you off guard. Even though you watched last week, so you probably where the questions. But anyway, I know Keskatalo says, quick, don't think 5 best OCR album ideas, either themes, game systems, or styles. Go. Like, what are the OCR albums you like the ideas of the best, the concept?
The ones that already came out.
Yeah, sure.
Or the ones that I would.
Or in progress. Or in progress. Either way.
I feel like a jerk because most of the ones that I like are the ones I came up with.
Well, you have directed many, so that makes sense. No, that's a perfectly fine answer because you've actually directed several. So
yeah, a lot of them are like the character theme ones. So like the Final Fantasy V, the character themes, and like the EV themes. EV EP is really fun. That one came out really good. Another one that was like that was the first one that was like that was doing Kirby's Adventure, so it was like all the themes of the different ranks that you got.
Rise of the Star.
Yeah, but I also like what's the Link's Awakening one?
Threshold of a Dream.
Threshold of a Dream, because it was very like dreamlike and it kind of like really contextualized the game a little bit. What other ones do I like? There's so many. Badass is a really cool concept. Bad guy bosses and stuff.
Villain theme.
I like stuff like that. Alice, I'm gonna look and see what albums I have.
With Apex series.
Yeah, I mean, that's fun. You know, the different fighting game stuff. Um, let me see. Albums. Ba-da-bow. Oh, the football art, the World Cup tribute.
Oh yeah, man. More people need to download that, man, for
Soccer
sure.
games.
World Cup tribute. Yeah, man.
Temporal duality was
Wow.
really cool because it was like, hey, you know, let's stop fighting about what's better and just like love it. You know, that's a cool
That was a
one.
very hands across, the ocean.
Yeah, it's like, you know, heal the world kind of thing. I really honestly,
music as well, so nobody's going to complain about that.
I really honestly feel like we should do a sequel to that album and do like the Saturn and Genesis soundtracks of 3D Blast.
I knew you were going to say that. You've mentioned it before.
We got to do it. We got to. Someone's got to run
Was it Sanu versus what's his face?
Jakes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Richard Jakes.
Yep.
But not versus. It's
In
just
harmony with.
harmony, just coming together and
man.
enjoying the music.
The harmony of Sega.
Even though the Saturn version is where it's at. Saturn
No. You're no. See, because you're just being a piece of garbage right now.
I said.
Wow.
All right, we'll remember that. That's all right. That's all right. We'll remember that.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if that's 5, but I think I covered kind of like what I like to see. Joshua Morse's Robot Museum was really good in terms of like let's do Mega Man as jazz.
And
Actually,
Sonata.
I really liked his Castlevania one.
Yeah.
Sonata of the Damned was tight.
As far as concepts go, like I love Balance and Ruin and I love Voices of the Livestream, but as far as concepts go, I'm not like the biggest fan of the concept, which is just like let's do all of them. You know.
But they didn't do all of them. They did a lot of them.
They did most of them, but the idea was to do like the whole soundtrack, you know.
Was it Be Aggressive is one of the albums that really encapsulates the theme that they were going for. There is like almost no non-aggressive music on that entire album.
Star Heroes, yeah. Although Sir Jordanius again, I mean, Dark Moocher on his, but Nice Legs off Be Aggressive is awesome. You gotta check that one out.
So those are the concepts. I like albums with strong concepts, you know, which is why that's what I try to do.
Well, I think everyone likes albums with strong concepts.
Let's do strong concepts. Let's do interesting concepts. So like Super Cartography Brothers, which is coming up, that's gonna be awesome. You know, there's a Batman album that, you know, all this stuff that's coming up is gonna be
Batman.
Awesome. Yeah. So.
This is just like it's reminding me that a while ago, Snappleman, Andreas, and I were discussing and coming up with an entire list of songs for Shmup Yours, and we will eventually get to it. Yep. So it's various shmup songs done in the order of a like singular shmup game. Yeah. So concepts are really cool, and I agree with you.
Another one I want to see, like I'm just gonna go back over like some stuff that we talked about previously, the talkbacks, but. Yeah. I would really want to see like Jet Set Gemini, which is like a Jet Force Gemini, Jet Set Radio kind of like mashup album. That would be really cool if someone.
That will never happen.
Yeah, I know, but and that's like the saddest part.
Well, I mean, the way you make that happen is you make one mix and you call it Jet Set.
Yeah, it's just Jet Set Gemini. And then I also want to see, the joke from MomoCon. Hey, I made you a mixtape. So like slow jams.
Slow jam, BGM slow jams.
BGM slow jams and like slow dance music and like prom, basically like prom music, and that kind of.
You could, dude. Okay, so many of like the bad dudes like One Up, crew could really kill that. I mean, you could definitely get like Mustin, Dale North. Kay Triton, Joshua Morse, Tim Sheehy, like all that super just smooth, you could totally get that. That'd be great. R&B, that'd be great.
R&B, a lot of slow, like a slow jams album would be really good,
So that's the up, down, lower, like the porn.
Oh yeah, up, down,
not
lower.
necessarily. No, I like that concept too, but that's like I feel like that's a different kind of music, Because a mixtape is not. It's not necessarily just like that porny kind of R&B.
Okay,
stuff.
so you're just okay. So it's like you've got the makeout jams, and then once the makeout jams are over, then you've got the bonkin' music.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
you'd have to pair them together. You should do a simultaneous release between the two.
Yes. So,
And call it simultaneous release.
Yeah. So we put out. This is what we do. We put out. Yo, I made you a mixtape at the beginning of February, right?
Okay.
And then on Valentine's Day, up, down, lower.
Lovely.
And
Perfect
then 9 months
day.
later, release Baby Jams.
Yeah. And 9 months later, we do like a lullaby album for Baby.
I love it. It's a trilogy.
God.
It's
a
a
trilogy,
brilliant
yeah.
concept. Oh man.
Baby's first remix.
Oh my God! All right, I'm gonna keep it moving. So last week Phoenix Down asked, and I'd really be interested in your answer on this, Shark. He said, "What is some feedback or advice you have received that helped shape who you are as a musician?"
Wow.
Well, you can hit more than one, but I mean,
Yeah, I'm trying
when I
to
was
think.
asking, when I was asking Steve-O, I was like, anybody that you encountered as a beginner, or like maybe even when you were kind of getting it, but you weren't quite there.
It's not even. It's probably not even from like the VGM community. It's probably just when I started writing music in high school.
Yeah.
I took a class called Music 1, which is basically like basic theory, right?
Mm.
And the first thing we learned in that class was what is the definition of music, right? And for a lot of people, like, music is something kind of very specific, like, because you hear a lot of people say, oh, like, that's not really music because it doesn't have this, it doesn't have that, and all this other stuff. You hear that criticism of like hip hop and rap all the time. Oh, it's not music, they're just talking, that kind of thing. There's a lot of people who don't think it's a song, don't think it's music unless it has vocals, which is weird. Lyrics or something, so people have very like specific definitions of music, but the definition that we learned in class was music is organized sound, and that's it. And I always keep that in mind because like when you think of music as just organized sound, then the possibilities are kind of like endless, basically. Because as long as you're organizing the sound, that is music, and it's perfectly valid. And then, as you learn theory, you start learning, the tools and the tricks of the trade and all this other stuff, and you start understanding like why you have these things that help you, come up with like how the harmonies work and how rhythm works and all this other stuff. But you're always keeping in mind that basically all you're doing is you're just organizing sounds, and I guess that kind of like that really stuck with me over all these years. Another thing is, this is something that me and my friends used to talk about a lot when we were, writing music in high school and stuff. And it's like, you can't. A lot of times when people, and this kind of goes against the music is just organized sound, so you can do whatever the hell you want kind of thing. But the idea is, you can do whatever the hell you want, but it's probably not going to sound good unless you know what you're doing. Because a lot of times when people start out writing music and they get that idea in their head where they're like, oh, like I can just write whatever I want, and because I'm writing it, it's experimental and I'm just being experimental, and it's still like perfectly valid. But at the same time, if you listen to it and it doesn't sound good, there's a reason for that, and that's because you're not really writing with any kind of intention. You're just slapping things together. So what you want to do is, you want to learn, like, a little bit of music theory and a little bit of, rhythm and meter and
circle of fifths.
So yeah, learn the circle of fifths. Just learn it. It's not that hard of a concept, So you learn this stuff, and then you can start, going around it. Because then you know what you're doing, and you have a reason for not staying within the key. You have a reason for making that F sharp instead of an F natural. So you sort of understand music better. And you know, that's, I don't know if that was advice given to me or if it was just something that came up in discussions with my friends when we were talking about composing when we were younger. But you know, that's kind of another thing that's kind of stuck with me. And that's kind of the advice that I want to give to a lot of beginning remixers, because a lot of times people are like, you know, and you know, Bustatunes, you know, Will Roger, you know, he talks about this sometimes in the chat. He mentioned this a couple of months ago. We were talking about like theory and stuff, and he was like, you know, it sometimes it feels like music is one of the only fields where it's kind of like admirable to like be like, you don't have to know anything about it to do it, because you see a lot of like people like you know promoting like apps, like music making apps, and it's kind of a selling point. It's like, you don't have to learn anything about music to be able to do this, and it's like, well, why don't you have to learn anything? You should want to learn things and be able to know things in order to create art, because knowing things is just giving you more tools and more ammunition, basically. And it's expanding like what you're capable of doing, and it makes you understand what you're doing. You know, I don't. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I have a quick counterpoint to that. Two things. Number one, you said, you know, music is a system, so I immediately think, okay, this is where my alto saxophone sound font goes. This is where my drums by Ken Ardency goes. This is where my squid font goes. I'm Dark Sword, and I use sound fonts.
Is that all you wanted to say?
No, the other thing is I agree and disagree with the assumption that music is something that you thrive at by learning more. Yes, you should want to learn more in order to improve what you want to do. However, the idea that music and art in general is a no barrier entry field. Like, you can make art without needing to know what to do in order to make art. It's just that in order to become better at art in certain aspects, you know, the schools of thought or whatever, learning is essential. I guess my personal approach to it is just that if you get swept up in schools of thought, then you become restrained by those schools of thought.
No, I absolutely agree with that, and I'm not. That's not what I'm saying.
No, I know. I'm just.
What I'm saying is, there's a whole thing where people are like, oh yeah, like, you know, he makes awesome music and he doesn't know anything about theory. Well, he kind of actually does know a little bit about theory, because you can hear it. You know, he knows to use this chord and this chord. And people kind of get caught up in the fact where they're kind of thinking, oh, it's admirable to be able to do this without knowing anything about it. And I don't think that's true. I don't think that's admirable. You know, it's like, okay, you just slap together something, but you still kind of have an understanding of what you're doing, and that goes into like the knowledge and the toolbox, and like that you know a little bit of theory, because you understand, like, you know, I go from this chord to this chord to this chord. That's theory, you know. I mean, people are like, oh, I don't want to learn music theory. I'm just gonna like play around. Well, like, you know, you can play around for like 5 hours and get what you want, or you can go learn some theory and then you'll be able to get what you had after doing it for 5 hours. You could do it in like 5 minutes because you understand it, you know.
Right.
So, you know, I kind of like just lost my train of thought and like where I was going.
I'm sorry, that's my bad.
Well, okay, let me try and focus in one direction. So you mentioned not necessarily being influenced by anybody, like in particular, maybe on the in this scene or anything like that. But you know, you're a big FL user and everything like that. Do you recall anybody ever giving you like some kind of power user type tips, or really like kind of setting you straight on how to use it? No, you're a trial and error guy, or
I was very much trial and error. I just read a lot of the docs for FL, and I experimented a lot, and you know, but when I was experimenting with the purpose of figuring out what things did and figuring out what was happening. Not just experimenting. It's like, oh, I'll just turn this knob and now it sounds cool. Okay, I don't know what it does, but it sounds cool now. You know, I was never like that. It was always like, okay, I'm turning this knob and this is changing this thing, and this thing is affecting the sound in this way. Okay, so now I know what that does. So now when I want to do that, I can use that and know what to do. You know, and I feel like that's kind of like the difference. You know, so that's kind of how you want to approach things.
Okay.
I guess.
All right. Well, let me just go through some of these other questions here from last week, but just rapid fire through them because there's some really good stuff that I want to get your perspective on. Right. All right. last week Yvonne Hackstock asked, "What's your favorite vocal VGM song?" What do you got?
The Odin Sphere opening theme, the Shanachi version. It's really, really good.
Okay.
All of Odin Sphere is awesome.
Yeah, but it's like the main theme of Odin Sphere, but it's not the version in the game. I think it is in the game.
Is it only on like an album release or?
No, it's an alternate version. I think it's in the game, but it's like an alternate version with vocals. It's really good.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it's not just the main theme, but with vocals. It's like a rearranged version. So like it's rhythmically different and the instrumentation is different, but it's still the same melody, and the same chord structure and stuff. But it's definitely like one of my favorite vocals. And also like almost probably anything from like Persona 4. Those are awesome. Those awesome vocal tunes.
Poppy stuff or.
Yeah, and then also I can't just say one favorite. It's got to be. I really like later Sonic soundtracks, but City Escape is kind of a classic. That's really good from Sonic Adventure 2, and I also like the opening vocal theme from Tales of Fantasia, because
the PlayStation one or whatever.
No, it was actually in the Super Nintendo version. Yeah. It was crazy. It was a vocal version of the song in the Super Nintendo version, and I have the album version.
Okay, but
yeah,
it wasn't in the Super Nintendo version.
No, the Super Nintendo version had vocals. When you played the game, listen to the song, you can hear her singing. It has lyrics.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's insane. It's a technical like marvel. It's
Marvel,
amazing.
yeah, Marvel, baby.
It sounds like very lo-fi, but it is very apparent, and actually it's very like clear that it's a vocal song, and you can make out the lyrics.
Cool. Was that movie that did it?
Which one?
Sakuraba?
I don't know if Sakuraba wrote that song. I think it was like a pop song that they wrote for the game, but I don't know if Sakuraba wrote it.
Okay.
That's a really good song.
To BGMDB we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to look it up there.
What's it called again?
Frick. Let me see. I have it somewhere.
All right. Well, let me move on, and you can dig it up.
I'll look it up, and you.
Yeah. So
it's called The Dream Will Not Die.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks like Motoi Sakuraba did that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Man. All right. So what is it? What do you think are the most underrated consoles? Top 5, handheld or home console. That was from Ethan Denaeus.
Top 5 or just the one?
No, a top 5 like most underrated consoles. It could be handheld or like a traditional platform.
Game Boy Micro. Game Boy Micro. It was just another iteration of the Game Boy Advance.
Right.
But it was really small. It had a really small screen, but like it was very sharp. So it had a really nice display. It was very portable. Yeah. It was really awesome. What else? I want to say Dreamcast, but like I don't feel like
I said that. I don't care.
I don't feel like Dreamcast is underrated. I feel
it's underrated.
At this point, like everyone loves Dreamcast. It's like much beloved at this point. So. It was underrated when it came out,
Right, but it's like fat lot of good, all that love does.
I know, right, exactly. I mean, I have a Dreamcast downstairs and a big binder full of games, and not like games that I downloaded and burned onto CDs, like a big binder full of games that I bought for Dreamcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Mine might be the burn CD.
No qualms. Mine are definitely the burn CDs.
What else?
There's no way I'm going to insert my legit copy of MVC2 in the Dreamcast. That thing is way too valuable.
Yeah. What else, man? Like, I got 3 more underrated consoles. I feel like every console kind of gets its due, Maybe Saturn is underrated? I don't know.
Yeah, I said that too, and my knowledge is limited, but I did mention that too. Maybe
Saturn is probably underrated, but... that might be because not a lot of people played it.
Man, what a bummer, man.
Yeah. Sega, I don't know.
It all just turns into a Sega platform.
Yeah, I mean, like 32X, I guess. I don't know.
PC.
I had a 32X. I played a lot of Knuckles Chaotix as a kid.
No.
But I don't feel like it's underrated because I think Knuckles Chaotix was really the only good game for it.
Yes. Probably.
What you gonna do?
Don't worry if you can't come up with 5. I mean, that means nothing comes to mind. You know, that's like shockingly underrated.
So yeah, I would say like Game Boy Micro, honestly, because as an iteration of the Game Boy Advance, you know, a lot of people just like discounted it. They were just like whatever because they were just fed up with like new Game Boy Advance models. But it was very good. It's a really nice little system. You know, put it right in your pocket. It's fantastic. It's a gorgeous little system.
Now, on YouTube, Gino Merci asks, so where's the forum post with the wager pool on which remixers are going to gain the most facial hair over the winter? What is this? Is this a thing? I didn't even know about.
I don't know. Are we having a beard off? Is that what's happening?
Are you guys not familiar with No Shave November? Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, I guess.
Well, I think it's just a wager on who's going to do it, and of those people doing it, who's going to do it for the longest, and/or who's going to win.
Steve's going to win. It's over.
I mean, I'm going to grow a beard for winter because it's cold.
It's cold.
Out, but I'm not growing a beard until after my friend Joanne's wedding. So, and that's in like November sometime.
He wants to downplay the swarthiness. So
yeah, I want to look nice at the wedding, and then after the wedding's over, I'm just gonna, just
but I mean, the beard looks good on you, man. I don't know why you don't want to do the beard, man.
That's true.
Just say you're starting Movember, in advance.
No, I don't go in for like.
Okay, all right. Nobody wants to. Has that been a thing every year though with the thread on the?
I don't think there's a thread. I don't think we do a thread or anything.
We will see. Well,
we'll have to make a thread now.
Yeah, maybe we will this year, baby. That's right. All right, cool. What is it? So Phoenix Down asked last week, what OC remixes do you think should have their own music videos? Shark. All of mine.
Yeah, all of mine.
Rock. Everything I've ever done. Just a little more Prime Edit. All that. He's just like all of his Ancient Hero.
Ancient Hero. Just a little more Prime Edit. Yellow Valkyrie. I don't know. Tattered Slip. Honestly, though, I would love Tattered Slippers music video.
And that's a Twilight Princess mix for anybody.
Yeah, kind of based around the description I gave, because that remix is kind of based on a fairy tale.
Remind people of that the story behind it.
Oh yeah, it's a Grimm's fairy tale. It's the shoes that were danced to pieces.
Mm-hmm.
It's about
these killer shoes.
No, it's about these 12 princesses who basically sneak out into like this underworld to dance at night with these 12 princes who are actually, I think they're actually demons or something. And then every night they come back, and the king finds their slippers that are all tattered and torn because they've been dancing all night. So he enlists the help. He basically wants someone to find out where his daughter is going every night, and all these people try and they can't figure it out. And then finally, like, this one hero shows up, and he uses some tricks, and he basically follows them, and he figures out what's happening, and he defeats the demon princes, and he saves all the princesses and stuff. I think the princesses are being enthralled or something. I forget.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and then. There's something. There's like golden leaves and like silver leaves and stuff. It's pretty cool. And then like he saves the princesses, and then like he marries the oldest one or something. But yeah, it's kind of based around that idea of a princess going to another world and dancing with. So I said it's about a princess who goes to another world to dance with a hero, which is basically what happens in Twilight Princess. It's Princess Midna goes to the Hyrule, out of the Twilight Realm, and she's basically with Link throughout that game. So it's called Tattered Slippers. So I think it would be cool to see like a music video or something based on that.
Also a Toyota Disco music video would be.
Yeah, actually, definitely Toyota Disco. I think that would be a fun.
And then what was our Marvel collab?
Collab. Let's Ride.
Let's Ride. Yeah, that's right.
Before you edit.
All right, great. That'd be pretty sweet. It might be.
You know what song I think needs a video? An oldie but goldie. The Flicks Hyrule Prom or whatever it is.
Oh, Kakariko Prom. Yeah, man.
Kakariko Prom. Yeah, that's goodie.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Principal Flick.
Oh, also, freaking like the Gato.
Team Gato.
Team Gato would be an awesome video.
No doubt.
And
I don't know. Maybe a intrepid director will show up one day with like, I would like to do these 5.
I would like to see one for the Impresario.
Oh my God!
Like a full stage production of Impresario or something. That'd be killer.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, right. I mean, come on. That's like the one. Like if there's anyone out there gonna do any music video for an OC remix, that's the one. That's the one. That's what I want to see.
Nice. Cool, man.
I would we should do like a contest or something. Like, do an Impresario like music video.
I mean, that's a super ambitious. Like, that'll take a long time. Well, then again, I mean, you know what?
And then if you win the contest, we give you like physicals or something of it.
Maybe, yeah, man. No, that's damn, that's tough. I was gonna say when we did the Final Fantasy VII music video contest, there were a lot of amazing entries, but FF6 doesn't have like that much footage and movies and stuff, ancillary projects that kind of pull from.
Yeah.
But whatever, you never know.
I think if we gave people a long time to do it, like if we gave them like 6 months to do one, they could come up with something interesting.
Wow.
You could do like live action, you could do animation, you could do whatever you want.
You're crazy. I don't know how you'd maintain someone's attention for like a 6-month contest, but
Oh, I don't know.
I'm willing to be proven wrong, I suppose.
Maybe 3 months. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like something like that would require like you have to give them enough time to do it.
Yeah.
And put together, like if they were going to do a live action thing, give them the time to put together like some costumes or something, or if they're animating, give them the time to actually do it. Maybe like a 2 or 3 month long contest where it's just like, hey, we're doing a contest, entries are due like at the end, like at the end of the year or something, and like if you win, we'll hook you up with some physicals or something. I don't know, grand prize or I don't know. I think it'd be cool.
It's a creative community out there, which is.
They had those stuff. They had that stuff in the past, right? The director compos or whatever that Amy was running, the OCVG or whatever.
Yeah, she was doing like a music videos compo. It was cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, yo.
Yeah.
I remember going out there doing a really late cold shoot for Insomniac Skies. That was
nice.
Quite the interesting shoot, but I would love to see that come back too.
Yeah. Oh, well, hey man, just necro that thread, baby. Let me see real quick here. DCT said, "I took your advice and submitted a remix in January."
He's got that cry
by
face.
the way, he says, "By the way, sorry, our mix is still on the shelf. Steve-O, sad face. Hashtag OCR Talkback."
Oh, DCT, I know I need to finish my guitars for that. As soon as I'm done moving and I get my studio set up permanently, I will hit you up and I will make sure you get the goods.
How you gonna do Dwayne wrong like that and not come through with your parts, bro?
Yeah.
Just do some acapella right now. Like, what are the parts? Like, like what do you?
I'll
help you out, Dwayne. I got plenty of wow in the hopper for you if you. Oh my God! He said, and Dwayne says, "I'm totally stuck on this OCR Talkback series. The benefit/curse of being bedridden. Get well soon.
Yeah, man.
Don't feel. I hope you're up and at 'em, bro.
You got a lot of talkbacks to like go back and watch, man. This is like 45. So.
Yeah. No, a ton of it. Ano says for this show, he says, "How's the con leg?"
Oh man!
Should that be a Nicolas Cage movie?
I think we're not going to talk about Nicolas Cage anymore on Talkback. I think we're done with Cage.
Yeah, I'm done.
Do we need to add a page to the wiki of the topics we do not discuss on Talkback?
Oh, well, it's 2 topics long. This is unbelievable.
I know. It's a proper list at this point. Yeah, honestly, I'll be perfectly honest with you. My left leg was basically shot.
Wait,
Saturday night.
Stop. What? Your left leg, one leg?
Yeah, like I did something to like the back of my knee on like Saturday, and I was just like, it was incredibly painful for the rest of the weekend, and it was really bad actually. I thought I might have like pulled a muscle or like torn something. It was pretty bad.
Did you ever get it checked out?
Yeah, it got better. So I think it was just like I was just
It's
something
like
happened.
whatever,
Something happened,
Okay.
and but I took off from work on Monday. I didn't go to work on Monday, so.
You had to rest it up. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
elevate
I always do a recovery day after New York Comic Con. It's way too tiring. If I went into work on Monday, I wouldn't have gotten anything done anyway. So.
Yeah. No, good call. But you're back to 100, so that's all good.
Oh yeah, I'm 100% now.
All good.
Like I can't even tell at this point that it was.
Yeah. No, excellent.
But to be perfectly honest with you, my left leg was completely like screwed up. By like Saturday night, it was just dead. It was gone.
What'd you do on Sunday?
I limped around, honestly. Like it was very. We did a lot of. We didn't walk around a lot. We basically just hit Artist Alley and got to talk to some like artists and stuff. It was actually cool. I got the scoop on the new Spider-Woman comic before they announced it at the Marvel panel.
Oh, cool.
Kind of cool. You know the Gwen Stacy as Spider-Woman?
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, the Spider-Verse kind of.
Yeah, the Spider. Yeah. So that when they revealed that costume months ago, like leading up to Spider-Verse, it got a massive response like initially, and when I saw it, I was just like, that is amazing. That costume's fantastic. It's very simple and clean, and like it's very dynamic and cool looking, and the issue, the Spider-Verse issue came out, which is like about her and like in her like universe and stuff. And I picked it up on Comixology and I read it, and it's awesome. And I guess Marvel is very in tune with the response to that character and that version of Spider-Woman and that version of Gwen Stacy, because they are doing an ongoing series. They're going to be doing an ongoing series about that character. In a couple months. I think it's launching in February or something. But I was there at Artist Alley, and I was talking to Robbie Rodriguez, the guy who designed that costume, and he was the artist on that.
Wait a minute. Now let me just get this straight, because I know you're a DC Comics head. So yes. I mean, what's up with the Marvel love? Like, where's this coming from?
Okay, here's the thing, and this is. People kind of get confused about this because
we'll keep it quick to keep our
because I talk about DC so much and I love DC Comics so much. I don't hate Marvel Comics.
No, I know you don't. But what I'm saying is, I know you're primarily DC. So like, kind of what are you clicking with on the Marvel side? Like what?
I've always really liked Spider-Man. The character and the design especially, and also I really love spin-off heroes. So like I like Batman, but I love Batgirl, and I love like Nightwing and Robin. I love like sidekicks and spin-off heroes. So like if you have Spider-Man, Spider-Man's cool, but then you have like Miles Morales as Ultimate Spider-Man, that's awesome to me. Or like the Spider-Woman character, or like Silk, who's the new Spider-Woman character. I love spin-off heroes, and Marvel with Spider-Verse, they're really hitting that like spin-off hero love right now with me. So,
like literally every version of Spider-Man ever.
Yeah, and they're creating new ones too. Like I don't know if the Spider-Verse issue that came out like this week is by Gerard Way with art by Jake Wyatt. Gerard Way? He's the lead singer of My Chemical Romance. He's also a very good comic book writer. He wrote Umbrella Academy for Dark Horse Comics. So they wrote something called Spider, which is a very it's a very like Japanese kind of like anime, like 80s anime take on Spider-Man. It's like this young girl whose father was Spider-Man, who was bitten by the spider, and the spider's still alive. It was in like this suit, and then like he dies, and then she becomes the new spider, and like the spider like bites her, and it basically like becomes like psychically linked with her. And so it's really awesome, and it's got all like these great little like references to like other animes, and like because she's in school, and like all of the other students in school with her are like characters from Evangelion, and It's awesome. It's all those like these little Easter eggs. It's great. It's so cool.
That's cool.
And then like
man.
Daredevil shows up at her school to like be like, hey, we got to go fight crime, and she's like, oh okay. And the teacher's like, you're excused because like they all know that she's the Spider, and Daredevil's like standing there and he's all smiling and stuff. It's really awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Definitely recommend it. Yeah. But I the only reason that I don't read Marvel regularly is because if I bought like if I was reading like one of the main like Marvel series like Spider-Man, then I would end up like buying a crossover issue. So like if it crossed over with like Avengers, I would start like reading Avengers, and then I would continue to read Avengers, and then like I would reading all the cross. So it's basically like the rabbit hole effect. It's like I don't want to get sucked into it because then I'm just gonna know that.
Wait. Let me ask real quick. So for example, I have a Marvel Unlimited subscription where you get like it's a 6-month delay on when new issues go up on it.
Right.
But you get access to like every past issue they've ever done in the history of ever.
Yeah.
Is that like death for you because you'll just sit there and like waste away? Is that what might happen?
That might be death for me.
Okay.
My brother has one of those. I might actually get one of those. But the thing is, I also like being.
You should wait because they'll do like a Black Friday deal.
I also really like being current with storylines.
I'm gonna take it. I don't care.
So that's another thing. That's why. But anyway, let's get back to
all right
stuff in OCR.
Yeah.
We need to just do like a comics like talk back one night.
Talk back.
Yeah, just comics.
You better not
just talk about comics and stuff.
I would do that. All right. So real quick, and last question, then we'll wrap it up. Or actually, hold on. Let me say real quick. So on the Tizoob, a couple comments. So Sir Nut says Ghetto Lee Lewis's remix of A Dream Will Not Die. That's an oldie for you guys to check out.
Did he remix that one, or did he remix Be Absent Minded? I think he remixed Be Absent Minded. I'm gonna look it up now.
Look it up. Yeah, look it up. While you're looking that up, so Gino Merci also says Steve likes remixing games that don't get a lot of attention on platforms that don't get a lot of attention. How about an album themed on Star Wars games on the PC from the late 90s and early 2000s? Too much copyright hassle?
They don't have a lot of original music.
They don't, but TIE Fighter and Dark Forces!
They barely have any original music. Most Star Wars games from that era use licensed music from the movies.
Well, they're MIDIs, so they sound like MIDIs.
But they're still
I know.
They're just MIDI versions of John Williams' the score. So OCR wouldn't do something like that because it's not video game music; it's movie music. There's like Force Unleashed, which has original music written for it. But aside from that, and I think Bounty Hunter had like 1 or 2 or 3 tracks that were original to the game, but most of the music from that game was also from the prequel trilogy.
There are people in our community that do this stuff on the side, though. Beckett007 did a version of the Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis songs called the London Sessions, and he did that a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not something OCR could probably do, but it's something that people in the community, at least I know of a few of them, would probably be interested in doing that.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see an album of that happening. Maybe like one.
I don't see an album of it happening, especially like let's remix Star Wars games from like the 90s and the 2000s. Well, I mean, like it's like okay, you're not really remixing the games, you're just remixing Star Wars, the movies, because that's where the music comes from. And maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe some of those old games had some original music written for them. But as far as I remember, I don't really think a lot of what they did back then was basically just let's just use licensed music. But maybe we can talk to Will. He might know a little bit more. He did work for LucasArts.
I don't think he would know about anything from the late 90s, early 2000s. But maybe for his tenure at LucasArts, he would.
I'm saying because he worked there, maybe he'll have a better understanding of the history of it. But I don't know. I don't think that's a thing.
That's not a thing. We gotta keep it. We gotta give it to you straight. When we get a question like that, it's like I just don't see that.
Yeah, but all the other LucasArts stuff from that time, totally fine.
Ghetto Lee Lewis remixed "Be Absent Minded." He did not do "The Dream Will Not Die."
Okay. Thank you for clarifying. And Sir Nuts on YouTube, on the YouTube comments, he says DC for life. So he's a DC.
Dream Will Not Die was remixed by. We do have a remix of it. It was remixed by Anthony Lofton and Dishu.
Oh, nice. Okay, so that's from
called,
the Summoning of Spirits album.
It's called Sweet Dreams. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, check that out from Summoning of Spirits. You can definitely check that out on OCR.
Yeah.
Kyle JCRB and Kariji Lee directed that one. But yeah, so I mentioned that Sir Nuts says DC for life, so he's a Batman, Superman, Flash, Aquaman, as Will says.
Is he talking about DC Comics or is he talking about Dreamcast?
Well, he just posted that 4 minutes ago, so he was talking about DC Comics, I'm sure.
Because I'll accept either one, because, you know.
Yeah, true. Yeah, maybe. No, you're right. Yeah, it could be.
I'm a big DC head, but I love Marvel movies. I think the Marvel movies are better.
Oh, the Marvel movies, like, damn.
And,
all right. So our final question here tonight from Phoenix Down. Oh boy, this is a fun one. What are some of the most unusual or memorable pre-order / special edition bonuses that you've ever received with a game purchase?
I don't do a lot of pre-ordering, but the pre-order bonuses that I like are anytime they give you like an art book with the game. I remember Nights in the Nightmare when I bought that for DS. That came with an art book, and I remember picking it up at a GameStop. This is back when I actually shopped at GameStop.
GameStop gate.
Wow. GameStop's terrible. But yeah, I went to pick up the game, and like the guy that was working there, you know, he was a pretty cool guy, but he was like, he got the game for me, and I was like, oh, isn't it supposed to come with a pre-order bonus? And he's like, oh yeah, let me go in the back and get it for you. So he went in back and got it, and he brought it back out, and he's like, oh, what is this? I'm like, oh, it's an art book for the game. And he starts like leafing through it, and he's like, wow, this art's really good. I might buy this game. I was like, okay, man, like whatever. But yeah, that was really cool. That's a good art book that came with that game. What else? I don't really, like sometimes people buy stuff that comes with like, you know, statues and like, you know, I think there was one time like when you bought Splinter Cell, it came with like actual working night vision goggles or something.
I had
like
a roommate that actually did that.
Oh, that's pretty sick, though. That's nice.
I don't think it was Splinter Cell. It was Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yeah,
no, it was Black Ops. It was Black Ops.
Hold on. I wanted to say this real quick before we talk more about those bonuses and whatnot. But because Jack Wall did Call of Duty Black Ops 2, I gotta remember to sit down and check that soundtrack out in full because it's gonna be good. And Jimmy was on it too, so BGC. So I gotta check that out and see how that kind of, you know, and obviously there's gonna be a lot of cues and kind of, you know, understated stuff, but I gotta see kind of, you know, how it all flowed.
So did you?
But keep talking about the bonuses and stuff. Bebo, anything that you?
Oh yeah, I've got a ton. I worked at GameStamp for a while.
Wait, talk about. I want. Oh, okay. Now I need to get some stories or some experiences or whatever. Like, it can be short, but just. I mean, what were some good things about working there? Like, did you get like cool swag?
The only good things that came out of working there was I realized that you don't need to be talented to work in management, but to be a good manager, you need to be talented. Their corporate structure is absolutely terrible, and I was there during the transformation when they were going from eBay Games to GameStamp.
You mean EB Games?
No. I try not to use the actual because I did used to work there.
Oh yeah.
So, anyways, they within 3 months of me first joining up, they removed the perk where it used to be that you weren't competing for hours, but you were competing for extra bonuses on your paycheck, like how many pre-orders you made, how many gameplay guarantees you made. All of those contributed to how much extra money you would potentially get per paycheck. They did away with the extra money, and they said, well, now you're going to be selling those things in order to compete for hours, because we're lessening your hours and we're lessening your pay.
Merit-based.
Yeah, pretty terrible. I did have one amazing satirical experience. Now, I'm open to religions of all cultures, but I've never found a Bible game to ever be any good. But
I had a
The
mother.
Christian developers out there really need to step it up.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make a compelling Christian game, but
You can.
that's not gonna happen if you're just adapting the Left Behind books into like a first-person shooter. I mean, come on.
Okay. Well, then I have two stories to tell. The first one is there was a mother and her two daughters. They were, I think, like around like 8 or 10 or something, and
Man,
they were coming in and they were looking for games that kids would be able to play, and as opposed to trying to pitch them a console, I was taking them over to the handheld section, to the Game Boy Advance section.
Right.
And I said, there's a lot of stuff on here. There's a lot of puzzle games. There's Mario, and she goes and makes a beeline for the Bible game on Game Boy Advance, buys 3 copies and 3 Game Boy Advances.
And that's
Didn't
it.
have to do anything else. She asked me how accurate the game was to the Bible.
Because you would know.
Well, I mean, that was probably the most bizarre sale I ever made, except for the time that a family of 4 came in and bought all 4 of our remaining copies of Left Behind, the PC game, for $5 a piece.
Wow.
I didn't even have to sell that one. They
I was
just
going to
said,
say, quite the upsell right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they just said, do you have Left Behind the game? And I said, yes, it's over here. And they knew what they wanted. I just rung them up. I
feel bad for those kids.
I feel bad for those kids too.
I feel bad for those kids.
Not because like their parents are creating a Christian a household for them to live in. That's fine, whatever.
Yeah, no,
Raise your kids.
No, it's bad. It's weak games, dude. You're hooking them up with weak games.
Come on, and that's what I'm talking about. Like Christian developer. I mean, I'm not Christian, obviously, but like Christian developers, you guys got to step it up. If you want to make Christian games, it's got to be a good game first, and then because that'll be compelling.
Isn't that what they tried to do with a bunch of the other Christian games? Make games that have absolutely nothing to do with Christianity and then shoehorn Bible quotes in there or something?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's not good. That's I mean, you can make a game like Diablo, right? And just put it in the context of
call it angelic.
Yeah, and just you're still hunting demons.
Yeah.
But
purging the world of evil.
Yeah, work stuff. I don't know.
Anyway, so let me get to the pre-order stuff.
Okay, yeah.
The coolest pre-order thing I ever got was with I think it was me and Mike Katamari for the PSP. If you pre-ordered it, you got a little dangly prince that had a little tiny lanyard that you could hook onto your cell phone, and whenever you received a cell signal, it had a little receiver that would make his little red ball blink when you were getting a phone call.
Interesting.
It was awesome, and I hung that on my Nokia brick phone for ages until the battery died. Working there, I also got a rare Half-Life 2 colored shirt when the game was about to come out, which was pretty awesome.
That's cool.
The only other cool pre-order bonuses were when you pre-ordered or got the deluxe edition of Quake 4, you also got the complete Quake 2 and expansion packs along with it. And there was another one where you got, I forget which game it was, but you got this, those fake cans of peanuts that have spring snakes in it? There was a game that had one of those in it. I
remember that.
Yeah, I just can't remember which game it was.
Yeah, I remember them something like that.
Anyways, what about you, Larry?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I mean, nothing, because bonuses and pre-orders and all that stuff really. I mean, they had that way back in the day, but not as much, and I wouldn't know from buying anything in the modern day. So I will just say, as a tangential answer, that when my mom got my brother and I Super Mario Brothers 3, she also bought us the Nintendo Power Strategy Guide, and that just made the whole game just come alive. Not because it's we're cheating, but you really just got to explore everything and
yeah,
really
I had that issue of Nintendo Power. That was amazing.
I still have it. I mean, the cover ripped off. I mean,
it
just came off the the spine of it because we use it so much. It was just awesome, and the art and like the layouts were just amazing. I love it. I wish I could maybe find a fresh copy of it or whatever. Just
You gotta
to
scan that, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. But I love it. I was gonna say, Steve-O, so like, just trying to get more of the GameStop experience and all that or whatever. Like, so if people like didn't claim pre-order bonuses or whatever, like, could the employees get some? Or like,
Are you kidding me? That's how all of us got our swag. Okay, I do have one other story.
Yeah, I want to know like about that. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, anything that people like. If we didn't sell enough pre-orders for a game that had pre-order perks, we would just give it out either to the person who wanted it the most. Like for the Katamari, obviously, the people at the store knew that I was a Katamari fanatic, so they saved that one for me. I actually ended up getting like 3 Fragmat mouse pads because nobody pre-ordered World at War, which was I think it was an RTS from the early 2000s.
awesome.
I've never even heard of it. They're still in use though. Like they're great mouse pads. But yeah, any of the stuff that people didn't pre-order was given to us. Any of the stuff that we didn't want, we destroyed. And that is another story about what happened when.
Couldn't give it away to customers? No.
We had to do what's called penny outs. Like, if you have a strategy guide or old version of a magazine and it doesn't sell,
the cover off.
You rip the cover off and yeah, you put it in the system as a penny, and they call that a penny out. And any penny outs ended up getting put into inventory and they don't detract from your loss of inventory for the day. So our manager was nice enough to let us, if there were any pennied out books, we could rip the cover off and take them home. I still have a huge stack of like strategy guides and whatnot from.
Me too.
Yeah, I have the Tekken 5 complete move guide because it got pennied out.
Yeah. You don't have any real use from, like, I used to work at Borders back in the day when that still existed. So it's like, yeah, I'd get like, art magazines and gaming magazines and stuff. And if they didn't sell, we're gonna return them to the distributor or whatever. You rip the cover off and just send the cover and get the credit for that. But and you're supposed to toss the books, but they were cool over it. So it's like
exactly, especially the ones that had like the demo discs and everything, like all the Xbox.
I actually got, I think, like a copy of it was like a classic retro version of Edge magazine, but it was like all the oldest issues just kind of bundled together. It was like one big giant mega issue.
Nice.
So, yeah, man. So I have that, somewhere in there. But, it's talking about how awesome the 3DO is going to be and all this shit.
Oh, man, 3DO.
Yeah.
We saw firsthand how awesome the 3DO was at Mag 8.5.
Oh, my God. I actually ended up going to Save Point in Westminster and buying a legit copy of 2 games. One was called The Daedalus Encounter, starring Tia Carrere.
Right.
Nice.
And the second is called, I think it's called Incendiary, or some sort of portmanteau of incendiary and mercenary.
Oh.
And it's the worst first-person shooter I've ever seen. Nice. Let me go back to this. I think we'll probably want to close Talkback on this story, but in our store, we were one of the few stores that had, how they have the demo displays for like the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox. Yeah, we were one of the few GameStamp stores that had an N-Gage display.
Nice.
And when we were told that the N-Gage was being discontinued and that we had to dispose of our display, I brought in my Louisville Slugger. And we took that display out to the back. The first thing I tried to do, I really wanted to take one of the N gauges, so I brought a couple tools to try and pry it out, but they had proprietary screws in there, like the 3-prong security screws that like Nintendo used. And we were unable to remove them. So we just said, fuck it, we're going to destroy this because this isn't fitting into the trash compactor. We need to get it down to size. I have never felt such satisfaction as when I took a full swing at an enclosed N-Gage attached to that kiosk. It shattered like 1,000 suns.
That's awesome, man.
That's great.
That's pretty tight.
I was gonna say, like, those were the cool things about working at GameStamp was the stuff that you did outside of working there. When you had to take trash out and you had a bunch of really crazy shit that you had to get rid of, or when we did our Christmas gift exchange, where I got my copy of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy complete, which was awesome.
That's not a game.
No, but the people I worked with.
No, I'm just busting your balls.
Like, those were really cool people, and that was at the time when they still hired people that cared about games. They didn't just hire people, like, they didn't just hire the stereotypical good-looking blonde girl to attract all the...
Okay, old man, everything got...
No, that did happen at the last store I was at. There was
No, whatever, there's still gamers that work there.
She wasn't a gamer at all. Self-admittedly not a gamer, she just needed the money.
Hey, man, you gotta make that dollar, man. That's fine.
I never said it wasn't fine, but I still like sex dolls.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, it does. So let me just follow up some real quick before we wrap it up. Just two more comments that are on the YouTubes because Sir Nuts and Gino are contributing some good stuff. So Gino said the Knights of the Old Republic games and Republic Commando at least have original soundtracks that I know. I'm talking about the Star Wars stuff. And I believe that there is a smattering of original tracks mixed in with the rest. I won't claim to be an infallible source on that, though. Oh yeah, I mean, there's some, but there's not a lot. This album will never happen in the history of. I hate to be that guy. I just don't see it. Like, oh, maybe someone will do it, but
maybe
you might want to take the lead.
Maybe individual remixes, but probably not an album, unless someone really, really sits down and finds some passion. Artist organizes it all together,
and they're a remixer themselves.
Yeah, and if you are very passionate about it, I would suggest, hey, make it happen, because that would be kind of cool. But I don't see.
Yeah, it helps to be able to make music yourself because, for example, we have a Teen Agent album, a Polish point-and-click PC adventure game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and Brandon Strader, did a lot of the tracks on that, and he made it happen. So. Yeah. Crazy as that sounds.
So, Jeno, if you want to see it, if you want to see a Star Wars album, I would love to see that. There's nothing stopping you from organizing it yourself.
Yeah. And Sir Nut says, as far as DC, what he meant with DC, he says both Dreamcast and DC Comics. But I do like DC Comics because all the side characters are awesome. For example, Animal Man, Batgirl, and the original Green Lantern, etc.
Yeah, I am a huge Batgirl fan. Batgirl.
I love Batgirl from the '60s show. Yvonne Craig, looking fine.
I love all of them. All the Batgirls.
It was
Barbara Gordon, Stephanie Brown, Cassandra Cain, Betty Kane, all of those Batgirls.
Well, she's
Tiffany Fox.
Betty Kane. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking
Betty Kane.
Catherine Kane. I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's Batwoman.
The Bat Hound. Let's not forget Ace the Bat.
Ace the Bat Hound, and then the Bat Cow. What's the Bat Cow's name?
What?
Bat Cow. Yeah, there's Bat Cow. That's a real character.
I'm gonna Google that.
Grant Morrison's Batman Incorporated run.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that Bat Cow is certainly a great note to end the show on. Damn man, we clocked in a pretty damn good show, man. Pretty long show. But good deal. Do we want to do any last minute plugs or?
Yeah, let's do some plugs. Plug it up. PLUG.
Steve-O, you got it.
You want me to start? All right.
Plug fanfic. I know it.
I would like to plug the new song from Zircon and Jillian Aversa, the Destiny song.
Oh, we should have mentioned that. That's right, man. Music video filmed at my crib.
Yeah, Sir Paul McCartney himself gave it a shout out on his Twitter, which was very cool this morning.
Pretty awesome.
If everyone saw that.
So check that out for sure.
Check that out. Tweet the hell out of that tweet, please.
Yeah, seriously. I would also
like to push MagFest. They're already sold out on Saturday night, so if you want to go, you gotta figure out another place to stay if you're going on Saturday.
Yeah.
And besides that, I would also like to push a block into place in Pushmo, but that's about it.
Pushmo is an amazing game.
I know. I've been playing it.
What game?
Pushmo.
It's a puzzle game on the 3DS.
Yeah.
Cool.
Once you finish Pushmo, get Crashmo. Crashmo is the sequel.
I will do so, sir.
Crashmo is excellent.
Nice. Cool. All right, cool. Well, I definitely plugged overclockrecords.com at the top of the show, so I'll plug it again. Go ahead and get the new Zone Runners album. It's tight if you like Sonic the Hedgehog music. Hal C, Digi Valentine, and Sir Jordanius, that trio, back at it, but now with Sir Jordanius joining the duo to make it a trio. It's a tight album, 11 tracks covering 9 different Sonic games. Basically telling the story of some OCs, doing their thing in the Sonic universe.
Of course, that's awesome shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff, man. So just dropped. You definitely need to hit that up on overclockrecords.com. Shark, man, what do you got to plug?
I'm also going to just echo Zone Runners. Make sure you guys check it out. I also actually want to plug, this is not something from the community. This is actually a game that I want to tell people to download. It's a mobile game that came out, Terra Battle. It's by Mistwalker. Mistwalker is like a whole bunch of X-Square guys. They made a couple games. They made a couple console games and stuff. But Terra Battle is their free-to-play mobile game. It's actually not at all offensive in terms of the any microtransaction stuff. It's a very fun game itself. Like it's not just like a little dinky kind of collecting thing. There's actually real strategy involved in it. It's got a soundtrack by Nobuo Uematsu. So make sure you check it out because the music's very good. It has beautiful art from a whole bunch of different artists who are a whole bunch of Japanese artists who work in the game industry and stuff. Lots of really cool character designs. They're doing a thing called Download Starter, which is kind of neat. So instead of like a Kickstarter where people donate money, they're doing Download Starter where they just want people to download the game. And every time they hit a milestone in downloads, they add a new thing. So once they hit
that's really cool.
Yeah, so once they hit a certain number of downloads, they'll provide the soundtrack for free to download from the site. Once they hit
definitely steal that kind of idea.
So once they hit another download milestone, they're gonna have an art book that you can buy. They'll publish an art book, and then I think once they hit 2 million downloads, they're gonna begin work on a new game in the series for consoles, sort of based in that Terra Battle world. So it's really cool because it's once you hit this, Uematsu-san will write a new song for the game. Or once we hit this, we'll get this really famous artist to draw a new character for the game. That kind of stuff. It's really neat. It's kind of cool, and it doesn't cost you anything because it's a free game. So just download it on your phone. It's called Terra Battle. It's by Mistwalker. It's really fun. I've been having a lot of fun with it. That's kind of my go-to game right now for when I'm just on my phone. It's really, really good, and it's really gorgeous. The art's gorgeous and the music's really good. So. Check that out. As always, I also want to plug 25 years of Mega Man, for Everlasting Peace, 25 years of Mega Man, Overclock Remixes, first commercial album done in
putting money in Sharik's pocket.
Yeah.
It's going to be the year anniversary on the 29th, so
yeah.
Excited, man. The reception on the album has been great. I mean,
no doubt. A lot of people bought it. Thank you to everyone who's bought the album in the past. It's been really
me and my new yacht love you.
Yeah, no.
All
that money went into buying fixing up my car and all that stuff.
I know, right?
I got my Mega Man money. Oh wait, my car is broken.
I have a bill. Yeah. I got student loans.
Yeah.
One interesting thing that happened this week. So Val took her car in for service on Tuesday, right? Just getting oil change, clean up, and whatnot. Took it in the morning. Picked it up. She went to an appointment right around lunchtime. I went back home to finish my telework day. I got a text message about 2 hours later saying she was 2 miles from the dealership that she had the service done, and she got a flat tire.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, and then
they took it.
Yes, they took it back to the dealership, and she got 4 tires.
What? Oh, man!
Val.
It's just one of those things.
Why did she replace all 4 of them?
Because the tires were getting worn anyway. There was only one good tire left that didn't have scratches on the...
Were they just bald at that point?
They weren't bald, but there was a lot of scuffs on the side wall of the tire. So, yeah.
Interesting. Gotta look at how you're driving that then.
Yeah.
Anyway, with our upcoming trip to Canada for Christmas coming, we just said, fuck it, we'd rather be safe.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
But
Also-
still, it's just ironic that they saw us twice in one day.
Also,
once in the
just-
morning.
Be careful when you're driving and trying not to scuff up the sides of your tires.
That's what I said, and I got slapped.
Yeah.
Boy.
Well, Charlie knows about me getting flat tires, so that was awesome.
When Larry was dropping me off at the airport, we were rolling up to the terminal for him to drop me off at the airport, and boom!
Yeah, there was like a nail or something in the road or whatever, and I'm literally like 10 seconds away from just dropping Shark off, and like, I hope you like walking the rest of the way, bro, but I got you 99% of the way.
I'm walking into the terminal, and this cop comes out, and he's like, "Hey, is that your car? You can't park there." I'm like, "No, my friend is dropping me off. He got a flat tire." And he was like, "Oh, okay."
Yo, I bet he was waiting for you to walk up like, yo, I'm gonna tell this boy, yo, you better move that shit.
I was like, "Oh, no, he got a flat tire." He's like, "Oh."
Like, oh, and I had like a whole speech saved.
Yeah, he was all ready to like give me a ticket and everything. I was like, no, I'm not parking my car and leaving it there and then walking into the terminal to take a flight. What do you think I am, some kind of idiot?
No, you're a 1%er.
Hey, you know what, man? There's probably people that have done that, man.
Yeah.
They park like right there, like, well, nobody will move it.
Yeah.
So anyway.
You can't park there. It's a flat tire, dude. Relax. Just calm yourself.
Yep, calm yourself. All right, well, we got to calm ourselves and end the show.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
so
Thank you,
beautiful.
everybody, for tuning in. Make sure you follow OCR on Twitter, at OC Remix. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/OCRemix. Subscribe on YouTube, and maybe tune in next week because we're going to try and do this again next week.
No
Thanks
doubt.
for watching, everybody. Good night. And
Good night.
God bless
Bye.
you.